Hey everybody, what's going on? What's hot? What's hip? What's happening? What's shaking on your Tuesday? Hope you're having a good one. Hope it's been good for you so far. Haven't spoken in a while. My voice is all. Let's get a few things out of the way. You know, I've been around, and I think I know what's what. And I just want you to know that I wouldn't recommend a reverse mortgage if I thought it was a way for someone to steal your house. I just wouldn't do it. And incidentally, if you're supposed to be receiving a structured settlement or annuity, why not get cash now? I mean, it's your money. Come on. It's your money. Hey, if you could, like, share, subscribe this program. That really helps us. The likes on YouTube, that really helps us get higher in the rankings and stuff. And I figure, why should you guys be the only ones suffering from this program? You know, it's not fair. There should be additional people suffering from this program. So like, share, subscribe. Hey, if you want to, go to thetomgullyshow.com. There's a billion podcasts there. You can check those out on subjects of interest. You can go to the merch store, or you can just go directly there by going to cafepress.com / the Tom Gully Show. If you want to, give us a little something, a little something for the effort, you can go to paypal.me / Tom Gully Show. Or you can go to patreon.com / the Tom Gully Show. So you can do all that stuff. But like, share, subscribe, of course. Hugh says, oh, that's Wild Bill. Hey, incidentally, I believe tomorrow night our show is going to be about how Wild Bill saved U2. For all we know, U2 would be a completely unknown band in the United States of America if it were not for our good friend Wild Bill. But we'll talk about that tomorrow. Let's see here. Hugh says, what? Oh, hey, Tom. Spanduckle says, hi, Tom and Bill and gang. The Dabble Juice says, finally ordering my classic clock for my office. Yes, Yime is on your side. And I, unfortunately, did not load the clock, but that's okay. I have a clock visual. But you know what? I also have an actual clock right here. Look at that. I don't need the Terry Nee, I think, sent me a picture. But there you go. There's your Tom Gully Show clock right there. It's blurry. No, now it's clear. That's what they look like. There's sure to be a focal point of praise and pleasure that'll add a charm and warmth to any room. Anyway, that's what we got going on here. So yeah, hey, thank you, Dabble Jew, for ordering a Tom Gully Show clock. Incidentally, while you're there ordering, just see your way around there. We got messenger bags, shot glasses, pint glasses, travel mugs. We got hats. We got hoodies, zippable and unzippable. We got a lot of stuff on there, man. There's things I haven't forget. Roman Bill says, and you're not lucky with Google. I guess he's doing that thing where he just wildly tries to go to some website somewhere. On the Google. I got to tell you, I've been having conversations with a friend of mine. Last year, I got a notification here. It says, man on mandolin from Vince the Lawyer. I don't know why I get Vince the Lawyer. Maybe it's because I'm subscribed to a lot of other Dabbleverse stuff. But what's everybody going crazy about the Carl and his mandolin for? I don't understand that. But then again, Vince the Lawyer will take nothing and try to make, I've got a paper towel here. He'll turn that into I murdered someone, so I had to buy paper towels. The guy is just full of it. Diane O'Brien says, hey, Diane O'Brien, look at that. She's got a little hand waving there. That little waving hand probably prepared the finest fish and chips in all of the emoji world. But I forget what I was saying before I went off on God, Vince the lawyer. He's just a complete waste of time. Total waste of time. Guys, a total waste of time. Not superlative in any respect. Not one. Not accurate, not knowledgeable, not intelligent, not funny, not informative, not entertaining. Nothing. Hey, we got a chef in the house. Randy J. Ramos. He is a certified bona fide chef. And also we have a yacht builder in here. And we have a lady that's married to a online production genius. And let's see here. There's a fish and a chip. There you go. Fish and a chip. I don't know what I'm having for dinner, but I'm hungry and tired. I'm tired and I'm hungry. So who knows? I am drinking store brand Cherry Coke Zero. With the new can redesign. I guess it's supposed to make me feel better about buying store brand. Let's see here. Hey, I got to tell you, we got a hell of a show planned for you tonight. It's going to be a hell of a show. Let's see. Randy J. Ramos says, can't go wrong with pizza. Well, the only pizza I have here right now is one of those amazing deep dish Geno's East Chicago pizzas. That is a lot of pizza. And it takes an hour to cook. And I've got that one slotted out for Thursday. So what I'll do on Thursday is I'll get up and I'll have that for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'll have a little all throughout the day. But you are right. You cannot go wrong with pizza. We've got a hell of a show planned for you. It's really going to be a hell of a show. Lyndon's here. Hey now, Lyndon. Hey, what's going on, man? Nice to have you. Hugh says, some people can make chicken soup out of chicken droppings. VTL takes chicken droppings and makes more chicken droppings. Yes. Oh, what was I going to say? Hey, when Vince the lawyer waves at you, it's called a microwave because he's diminutive. Wild Bill says, and don't forget the Barber to the Stars in Atlanta, Georgia, Wild Bill's Cherokee Barber Shop. That's right. The Barber to the Stars and the DEA. And local law enforcement. All right. Oh, let's see. Diana says, I've had my dinner, didn't make anything special, but would have loved a pizza. Pizza is the perfect food. It's got all four food groups. It's got your breads and cereals in the crust. It's got your fruits and vegetables and tomato sauce. It's got your dairy products in the cheese. And it's got your proteins in better have some proteins on it. Better have some pepperoni or something. Wild Bill says, and to Scotland Yard. Everybody went to Wild Bill's Cherokee Barbershop. All right. Let me tell you about the 1945 Empire State Building plane crash. All right, can I tell you about that? You know, back on Saturday, July 28th in 1945, Lieutenant Colonel William Franklin Smith Jr., he was tooling around in a B-25 Mitchell bomber, just on a typical flight transporting personnel to Massachusetts. That, by the way, is a B-25 Mitchell bomber. Maybe the picture doesn't do it justice. This is a gigantic plane. If you can see, it's got guns all over it, and there's even like a top gunner, and you can see the tail gunner. And this thing held hundreds of bombs. It was a big, giant plane. All right, but on this particular day, there was some very thick fog, early morning fog, so the B-25 Mitchell could not land at LaGuardia Airport as planned. It's still operational. Many of you may have gone through LaGuardia, or as I call it, the third world. That's an awful airport. Somebody told me they recently upgraded it, but I don't believe that. That person's from the New York area, so you got to take everything they say with a grain of salt. So Lieutenant Colonel Smith Jr., asked, because of not being able to land at LaGuardia, to be rerouted to Newark Airport. When he requested clearance for landing, the tower at Newark told him there was zero visibility. Zero visibility is a bad thing. I mean, usually you'll get, 100 feet is bad, but zero? That's super bad. But that didn't stop Lieutenant Colonel Smith Jr. He went ahead anyway. Huh? Just go ahead on anyway. Unfortunately, he got mixed up in the fog. He was supposed to turn left. Instead, he turned right. And this is after he just about hit the Chrysler Building. Why don't I just show you the Chrysler Building? In the background here, this is actually the Empire State Building being built. This picture behind me. You see just to my right, that building, which you've seen in 100 movies and everything else off to my right, that's the Chrysler Building. He darn near hit it. Darn near hit it in his spanky B-25 Mitchell bomber. By the way, the Chrysler Building, also not a small building either. It's like 77 stories, one of the most iconic buildings in New York, and about 1,000 feet tall. Anyway, and so it was that this plane, not that actual plane, but one like it, rammed into the north side of the Empire State Building at 9:40 in the morning, nailing it between the 78th and 80th floors, making about a 20-foot by 20-foot hole in the building, it crashed directly into, ironically, the War Relief Services Office and the National Catholic Welfare Offices. One of the engines came off, completely intact, and went all the way through the building, from the north side all the way through the south side, sailed a block away, plummeting 900 feet down and onto the roof of a building and setting a penthouse art studio ablaze. The other engine and parts of the landing gear went down an elevator shaft. Now, the fire that created took about 40 minutes to put out, and the Empire State Building fire, the fire from the crash, is the highest structural fire that has ever been controlled by firefighters. There have been other higher up in the air fires, but they weren't able to be controlled. This is 78 to 80 floors, the highest ever controlled by firefighters. Around 60 sightseers were just 6 stories up on the 86th floor observation deck of the Empire State Building when this happened, right down at the fire. 3 of the plane's crew were killed, including Lieutenant William Franklin Smith Jr., and a staff sergeant and a machinist's mate, plus 11 civilians in the building were also killed. Now, the machinist's mate was not discovered till 2 days later, when his body was found amongst the wreckage at the bottom of the elevator. The 2 other crewmen were burned so badly they could not be recognized. 24 other people were injured by the impact. Now, here's a story. Here's a story for you. By the way, that's the remains of the plane actually in the side of the building in that photo there. A woman by the name of Betty Lou Oliver was an elevator operator in the building. Back then, you didn't just get to press your floor. There was someone who actually ran the elevator. And she was tossed from her elevator car on the 80th floor when this happened, and she suffered serious burns. Rescuers got to her, and they placed her on another elevator car to get her to the ground. But the cables on that car had been damaged, and that car fell 75 stories, crashing into the basement. Miraculously, even though she suffered a broken pelvis, back, and neck, the rescuers found Betty Lou Oliver amidst the rubble at the bottom of the elevator shaft, alive, and she set the world record for the highest survived elevator fall. Apparently, these elevator shafts in the Empire State Building were very tight. And that elevator car sort of compressed the air underneath it as it fell. So there was a cushion of air, sort of, that helped her survive this. So the building was open for business 48 hours later, except for those damaged floors. And business tycoon Armand Hammer bought the 78th floor, which had been totally destroyed, and he refurbished it, subsequently making it the headquarters for the United Distillers of America. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the story of how a B-25 bomber crashed into the Empire State Building. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see here. Tell us, Tom, please. Joker's here. Hello, everybody. People saying hi to Joker. Wild Bill says he zigged when he was supposed to zag. Didn't he, though? Sook says safety first. Diana Jean O'Brien says these plane guys are nuts. Hugh says, didn't Hurricane Sandy hit LaGuardia and do $2.5 million worth of improvements? Let me tell you something. Last time I was at LaGuardia Airport, I went to the gate, and we were all supposed to board the plane. This gate was a hallway. And there were people in there. It just seemed like everybody had a giant laundry sack or a cardboard box with a handle duct taped to it. It was awful. We're all packed in. It was very narrow. It's the worst airport, other than maybe Philadelphia. Wild Bill says that was just a record-breaking day, wasn't it? It was a record-breaking day. Talking about records nobody wants to hold, says Sven Dunkel. That's true. Sook says you don't normally go to work and think you'll break a world record, but there you go. Brett Hollywood says, damn, that gully foiled my Excel schemes again. I love Excel. I didn't used to, but I have embraced Excel, and it's now a friend of mine. Goat says, not a lot of people trying to beat that record. Brett Hollywood says, damn, that gully foiled my evil schemes again. Brett Hollywood's pretty hilarious if you go to the BS show or the Rico show. He's pretty funny. So there you go. Again, like, share, subscribe, please. We'd really appreciate it. The other stuff, the merch store and the rest of it, it's all... What the hell is happening here with my... It's all there for you in the scroll. Julian Zeezer says, as an elevator operator, she knew just when to jump at the bottom of the shaft to lessen the impact. Well, Bill says, cardboard suitcases, Tom. Next time, pay it more for better seat, not on a cargo plane. That was a regular everything. It was awful. I felt like I was in a third world country. I really did. Not that there's anything wrong with third world countries. Believe me. Nothing against third world countries. But I just don't want to live in one or wait for a plane. The Denver airport is a legitimate airport, but some of the gates in Denver airport, I swear to you, are in Utah and Wyoming. It's like gate 96. That's too far to go. And they will switch you from one gate to another and you'll walk a mile. I swear to you. But the Philadelphia airport is awful, and so is LaGuardia. But again, somebody told you should be in LaGuardia now. It made a lot of improvements. Like, you're used to that awful airport, so anything they do to it is, Hugh says New York has turned into a third world country. Well, Randy J. Ramos says Indianapolis Airport is considered one of the best in the country. I have been to the new Indianapolis airport, and it's really nice. And I think they have a White Castle in there. Pretty sure they have a White Castle in there. Sven says, so sad, giggling in German. All airports sucks as well. That's kind of true. They used to tether Zeppelins on the World Trade Center, or is that some sort of apocryphal story? That's an apocryphal story. They may have tethered them onto the Empire State Building, but I don't think the World Trade Center. What movie was it? I saw it. I was watching Crocodile Dundee, and there's a scene there where they're taking his picture. It might be from the Empire State Building, and you can see the trade centers in the background. And I went, wow. Yeah, that's what I meant. The Empire State Building. Yeah, I think they did used to tether, do some tethering on the Empire State Building. By the way, the phone lines are open at 972-994-6822. Let's just call Trevor Garner today and see. I don't want to keep him on too long today. I don't know. Well, let's wait for that. Let's just wait for that. The Empire was supposed to be an airport for Zeppelins. So maybe that's what that observation deck was originally for. Led Zeppelin rocks. By the way, that Chrysler building behind me, I think that's almost a 100-year-old building. Look at these poor dudes that are sifting through the debris of the crash there. Look at this poor guy. Look at this poor guy. Just twisting rivets up there. Wild Bill says, I would call you, Tom, but I have better things to do. Yeah, well, we'll wait for you tomorrow, Wild Bill, because you're going to be our special guest, and you're going to tell that great story of how, without your involvement, we may never in this country have even heard of U2. And that's going to be our show tomorrow. So make sure and tune in to a very special Tom Gully show. Not as good as a very special Punky Brewster, but pretty good. Sven Dunkel says, men were built different in those days. Men were built different. Yes, you're very right about that, especially that guy. That guy ain't 20 years old. He's been doing it for a while. Look at that. Look at him. Just one wrong move, and that's it. He's done. He's a goner. But that's them just building it. And the Chrysler building there, you see in the background, it was already there for a long time before the Empire State Building ever got built. Oh, dear. Oh, look, it's Zombie Wolf. How you doing, buddy? Had about enough of your antics. Let's just call Trevor and get it over with. Doggone it, he's not there. Anyway, the phone lines are open, 972-994-6822. And that's about it. Yeah, for that. Stacy Allen is here. Always nice to see Stacy Allen. Who, for some reason, put the in Wild Bill. I only point that out because Stacy is so quick to criticize me. But we love her. We love her anyway. Sook says safety ropes were too expensive back in those days. Well, it was cheaper to buy a bucket and a squeegee for when that guy hit the bottom than it was to get safety ropes. Look at that guy. Just out there. It says that's his name, dummy. Oh, look, he changed his name. He changed his name. Why'd you change your name, Wild Bill? He's Reverend Wild Bill. We all know that. Trevor says, I'm here. Give me a few Mons. I don't know what that is other than the beginning of a strip club and Tampa's name. And Trevor, we tried. We tried today. We'll get you tomorrow. Stacy says, I expect your apology. I don't think I apologize. I recall apologize. Typical lady. Let's see here. Lyndon says, talk about bad luck. Richie Ashburn fouled a ball, hit a lady in the stands, breaking her nose, and she was being helped out. He fouled another ball and hit her again. What are the odds on that? Depends on what season. Was this when Richie was with the Phillies? Hard to say. Julian Zeezer says, Olympus Mons, the largest mountain in the solar system. Wow. There's a gentleman's club in Tampa called Mons Venus, which is famous for one thing. I think it's Dale Mabry. What's this? Did somebody do what to my Cheerios? First of all, I don't eat Cheerios. Second of all, I'm not upset. Ask Wild Bill. Wild Bill will tell you there's some shows where I've been cranky, and this ain't close to them. Minutes, okay, we can talk about bowling. I was an S grade bowler. Not a great typist, but an S grade bowler. Sven Dunkel says, I worked as a roofer back then, and I say nope thanks to skyscrapers. Well, Sven Dunkel, now you build yachts. Sven Dunkel builds yachts. Julian Caesar says, Ashburn told that foul ball story a few times. He says the lady always sent him cookies year after year. Well, she probably got seats from the team and everything else. They didn't want to be sued. Went to visit her in the hospital. I saw a story online about Springsteen was in St. Louis and some kid invited him over to his house and the parents came out and cooked him dinner and stuff. And then Springsteen said he would, whenever he played St. Louis, would go back there and visit that family and eat dinner and stuff with them every year for like 20 years. Let's see, Where-Eyed Brett from Trevor, you got to learn to type, brother. I hope that diabetes isn't affecting your typing, for crying out loud. I don't know where Brett from Sacramento is. The number is publicly posted right here in the crawl. Trevor, Brett from Sacramento, not the most stable dude on earth. Can we agree on that a little bit? Wild Bill says, when Tom gets all beside himself, I just sit back and watch and not say anything. It's more interesting that way, yeah. Trevor rented shoes. I don't know what that means. Oh, there's been some episodes of that. I'm in a fine mood, Stacy. I'm in a fine mood. You're the one that's always cranky, not me. Not me. I am a picture of relaxedness. I have to shake the. I was gonna shake a thing like April, but I'm not gonna. She says I don't seem like it. I'm in a fine mood. All right, let's see what's going on. Hi, and welcome to the Tom Gully Show. You're on the air.
Hey, this is Brett from Sacramento. I was told I got to call in.
I didn't tell you that.
No, you didn't. Trevor did.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Why should my listeners be excited that Brett from Sacramento is calling in?
I have no reason to tell you that. I don't know. I know you. I listened yesterday, and you said you said to call in today. So I didn't know. I think you said I had something you wanted to hear. So I'm curious myself.
No, somebody else said that you were going to call in, and I just said, well, we'll have to do that tomorrow because we don't have any time today.
Oh, okay. Well, I've enjoyed your show a little bit. I'm connected through Trevor, and I like it when you criticize the mineral mining, the commercial. We've heard that bit played.
Yeah.
Where you, I thought that was funny where you put it together.
Where the awful D&M mining commercial. So did you?
Yeah.
You and Trevor used to hate each other, though.
No, I've always liked him. When he was drunk, he just got mad at me because I'd give him constructive criticism, and he didn't like anything. If I tried to tell him, you try to do this to improve your show, or try to do this, or
Well,
don't let this happen.
what makes you an expert on how somebody should improve their show?
I don't claim to be an expert, but I see if something's failing, and it doesn't make someone want to listen to the show, I'm going to give my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think that's that on an anecdotal basis is worth much. Didn't you used to be a fireman?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I am still. I'm retired municipal firefighter, and then I'm actually retired through the state pension plan, and then I work for another agency down in Southern California for a private department.
Yeah. What if I came up to you while you were fighting a fire and started giving out my opinions about how to do it?
I would definitely, during a fire, I'd probably get you out of the way, but I'd listen to your opinion afterwards.
Right.
I'd listen to it, yeah.
Right. But you would give your opinion all the time during the show and in the chat room. You wouldn't wait till later and do it privately.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you're going to I think if you're going to correct a behavior, you call someone on it right away.
Well,
instead of letting it, and I call, sometimes the show sucked, and it did.
Well,
I'll call today.
But I go back to my analogy of when you're fighting the fire. What's wrong with me doing it right while you're, correct you right away? Hey, get that water on the ceiling. Hey, I think you should use the fire extinguisher this way.
I understand. I'm saying that if we're in an emergency situation, we're gonna have you all non-personnel back behind. I understand what you're saying, but I am open to constructive criticism. Time is right.
You guys get a little highfalutin with your emergency situation, I think, sometimes.
Maybe not me. I never really had any complaints. I was a pretty good employee.
Well, you're a little biased, don't you think?
No. In my certain situation, I'm highly trained and been a really successful career. And really never had anyone pull me aside and tell me what I was doing something wrong.
For you to say you're a good employee is not very, objective. Isn't that something other people should say about you rather than if you say it, it doesn't sound very credible?
I've had both. I've self-evaluate and I've had good evaluations overall. And so in my career field, I've been successful. I've been a good employee. Mm-hmm. And overall, being a good employee, no demotions or anything serious.
No demotions. You must be good.
No,
you've never been demoted. Well, that's the highest form of praise. That's the highest form of praise, indeed. You've never been demoted.
Well, demoted, I had to get to finish. No serious suspensions or anything. I've been a good employee during my career. Yeah, but I'm not here to talk about my career. I'm just
how many fires did you probably go to put out?
That's funny you mentioned that. I've always said I've been on a lot of fires in my career, but I never consider myself maybe hundreds. But you're always learning, so I'm never like an expert, or I'm never.
Well, no, but how many of them? I mean, if you were really good, there'd be hardly any damage at all. But I'm guessing some of the things you went to, the buildings were burned to the ground.
Yes.
Let me ask you a question, since you're a fire expert. Do you think it's a good idea for several tons of hot ammonium nitrate to be in a ship's cargo hold smoldering on fire with like 800 more tons of ammonium nitrate in the ship next to it and a whole bunch of diesel fuel in a refinery tank right next to that?
No, I'd be concerned.
Yeah. That was the show yesterday, the Texas City explosion back in 1945.
So we come back to I still criticize Trevor's show, and it never improved until he stopped drinking. I just thought the show was
then why did you criticize the show? Why wouldn't you just say stop drinking and leave it at that?
I did.
No, you said lots of other stuff besides that.
Yeah, I was hoping it would get better. I just hoping if you got a friend who's failing at something, and you say, "Hey, Bob, try this, try that," and then if he tries it and then he's successful, then you're successful.
No, Brett. But look, if I have a friend that is passing out drunk in the middle of his show, I'm not going to say, hey, here's a thing you should try to do to improve the show. I'm going to say, stop drinking. Until you stop drinking, there's no hope or cure or anything else. In addition to the fact, maybe don't have quite as many alcoholics on the show with you at the same time. That's what I'm going to say.
I agree with you. I've said that too. I agree with that. And you just can't tell Trevor to stop drinking. He won't. Until you're his doctor, he won't stop. So he did stop. So,
and
that's good. That was out of concern. I said, I think you should stop drinking out of concern, and he finally found his way. 5 DUIs wasn't enough for him. You think after
Well, I know the 5 DUIs might have raised a red flag for some people, but it's Irving the Indian boy is the guy I can't tolerate. He's awful.
He's a nice guy, good heart, but he doesn't.
No,
he's like drinking. You do need to do everything in moderation. Irving needs to, as a co-host of the show, everything in moderation. Don't overrun everybody and try and impress everyone with all your knowledge.
He doesn't have knowledge. He makes things up. Everything he says is like ridiculous. The well-known fact, the Empire State Building used to be a submarine. No, it didn't. Yeah. Shut up.
Yeah. Well, I think Tom, you and I agree on more things than we disagree.
Well, I don't know. We'll have to find that out another time because I got to see if other people want to call in. But I appreciate you calling in. Call in again sometime. Glad to have you.
I appreciate it. Take care, buddy.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right.
That guy's full of himself. That guy really burns my bacon. Lyndon says he was with the Phils. Second ball broke a bone in her leg as she was laying on a stretcher. Well, we might have to do a show about that. Tomorrow's show, The Wild Bill. Stacey Allen, you'll enjoy this. The Wild Bill is going to tell the story of how he saved U2 the first time when they first got to the United States. If it wasn't for Wild Bill, we might have never heard of U2. That's my assertion, and I'm sticking to it. Julian Zezer says, I think that iron worker in the picture is sitting on the wrong side of that bolt. He's turning the bolt the wrong way. Lucas Malago says, Brett B. from last night said he'd call in. Obviously, such a character didn't put it in his calendar. The Wild Bill. Tom's in a good mood today. Hasn't cussed Streamlab once. No, it's the day's early. Hugh says, Tom's in a great mood. He read 2 of my quips and chuckled at one of them. Lucas Malago says, I take back my comment now. Trevor Garner says, I used to rent bowling shoes and spray with Lysol. Well, they're supposed to do that. But renting a bowling shoe is in the words of Robert Klein, is like renting a Kleenex. Sven Dunkel said, I had a stroke last year, half paralyzed for 2 weeks. No fun, but I fully recovered. Damn, Sven, I'm sorry to hear that. But hopefully you're still building yachts. Sven, nothing can happen to you. I have to have a frequent listener that builds yachts because that makes people think the show is classy. We're classy. Brent from Sacramento's on the line. Well, slap me silly and call me Mary. I'll be dipped. Yes. He has double standards. He can interrupt to express his thoughts, but make the ones toward him must wait, and he wants them. He's special. I don't know what that means. But make the ones toward him must wait until he wants them. He's special. I don't know whether you're talking about me or Brent. Wild Bill says, when I tell Tom things he's doing wrong on the show, I always wait until after the show in private to tell him what I think before he tells me to go to... Stacey Allen says, woo! And then she says, to be honest, I do not like U2 at all. Me and Bill? The DDLD says, you two lost me around Achtung, baby. Brett B says, hello, thanks for taking my call. Let me tell you, U2 live at Red Rocks is amazing. I don't care what anybody says. And I understand if people eventually fall off the U2 bandwagon. There was a certain point where they got just a little too ballady and drawn out. But man, the early U2, In the Name of Love, New Year's Day, I Will Follow, Gloria, that early stuff's really good. And then when they did When Love Came to Town with B.B. King, hello, thanks for taking my call. I think that was Rattle and Hum. The Joshua Tree album, pretty good. Stacey Allen says the only song I like is In a Little While, and only because legend has it Joey Ramone requested they play it while he was passing away. Okay. The DDLD says Red Rocks was fantastic. It is. Run away, run away, run away, run away. I will follow. Oh, man, it's so good. The Wild Bill says, mine is U2 at Alex Cooley's Electric Ballroom in Atlanta. Don't blow tomorrow's show. The Joker says, first record is real good. Yeah. This is not a rebel song. Anyway. Julian Z says, Robert Plant is the best screamer in rock. Bono is the best whiner. Was it In the Name of Love that they did on top of the building in Los Angeles that made everybody go crazy? U2 songs are tough to dance to. They are tough to dance to. I will give you that. Lips are sealed. Let me see. Sven Dunkel says, still building boats, just a little slower. Nothing wrong with that. Take your time. You don't... Let me ask you, Sven, how much ammonium nitrate can one of your boats hold? That Live at Red Rocks, there ain't a bad track on that thing, man. Just isn't. There did come a point after the Joshua Tree. I think I liked Rattle and Hum, but there did come a point where there weren't that many tracks that I liked on some of them, and Julian Caesar says the Edge plays the second best one-note guitar solos in rock. Danny Workman says, I like the stuff Brian Eno produced. Bullet in the Sky. Toby McGroby's here. Hey, Toby. How you doing, brother? Nice to see you. The old U2 will make you dance on top of tables. It is pretty... Some of the old stuff you can dance to, but... Two Hearts Beat as One. Come on, man. Bono sang with Sinatra. That's cool. Yes. He also did a tune with B.B. King, which is even cooler. I had young people not believe me when I told them my age this weekend at the fancy radio station. Would not believe me. Had to show them my ID. The DDLD says there was a really good interview with Bono on the Smartless podcast. Gave me a whole new perspective on the guy. I think the rooftop... It was, DDLD, it was Where the Streets Have No Name. You are definitely correct. Terry Nee says Brian Johnson was the best screamer of AC/DC. I was talking to somebody about AC/DC the other day, and I mentioned, this guy is still laughing at me about this. I said, yeah, I don't know. I don't like him as much now since they got the new guy. And then he looked at me and goes, you realize the new guy has been with the band for 30 years. I did not like AC/DC when I was in high school. I subsequently have grown to love AC/DC. I'm a huge AC/DC fan. But when I first became aware of them, which I think was, what's that song? It was like their first hit. It wasn't Highway to Hell. Daggone it, AC/DC hits. There we go. It was You Shook Me All Night Long. I wasn't a big fan. It was probably around 2000, and somebody gave me a live ACD album from a recording studio in New York. I'm Ed Shockley from the blah blah station, and I loved it. And I subsequently have AC/DC is the music that's in my iPod when I go running, because it's just, man, you put Thunderstruck. Thunderstruck was my warm-up music when I was indoor soccer goalkeeper. Terry Nee says, you're ancient. I am ancient. I am 1 year younger than Bob Levy. AC/DC better than U2. I have no problem with that opinion at all. I think they're both great, but I don't know. People like what they like. It was not Big Balls, no. It was You Shook Me All Night Long. Well, the Wild Bill says, Stephen King likes AC/DC. There we go. Brett says, correct. Oh, had it wrong. I don't even know what that means. Thunderstruck is the perfect hype song. It really is. TNT is another good one. I was on a morning show here in Dallas, a sports morning show, and the other guy on the show's name was also Tom. And so TNT was our opening song. Jokerfix saw AC/DC was way too loud, couldn't make out a note. Well, you gotta, have the good sound system, or no band is good without the good sound. Sorry, it's just not. But Reverend Wild Bill, one of us, right? One of us. Anyway, saved U2, and we're going to tell you about it tomorrow. Kickstart My Heart, Motley Crue. I'm not a fan of the Crew. Who did Jumpstart My Heart, the song? Was that? No. Was that? Let's see. Was that one of those Clarence Clemens that he didn't sing? Let's see here. Maybe I was right. Let's see.
Mucinex Night Shift fights your worst nighttime symptoms, so you can get to sleep.
Why don't they dock you for playing the Mucinex commercial?
They told me how to Spanish fly. Mama made a fool of me.
That, by the way, it is. It's Clarence Clemens, and the Red Banks Clemens went out and did his own. And as you hear, the guitar, such a driving force, and I'm making this transformation by commenting on it now, so it's fair use. Let's see. Let's go a little further in the song and see what Clarence and the Red Bank Rockers are up to.
Spent the night camping do.
Yeah, of course, it's going to have horns in it if Clarence is in there, and I like some good organ in my songs. Let's go a little further.
Jumpstart my heart. Start it up.
Anyway, Jumpstart My Heart, another one of my workout songs. Yes. I was born in the beginning of May, so I'm older. I was born in May myself. Listening to AC/DC playing with Legos. Great times. I like AC/DC, but most everything sounds the same. That is incorrect. You've never heard She's Got the Jack? Whole Lot of Rosie? Come on, man. Come on. Zombie, come on, man. Wise up. Get with the program. Crew was awful live. I like a little bit. I wasn't a fan of the Crew. Wabo says, I'm one of the oldest here in the chat room. Damn proud of it. Toby McGrovey says, I like the AC/DC later on because I'm a music snob. If people like something, I dislike it. But after hearing Big Gun and Last Action Hero, I caved. Hey, man, Shoot to Thrill. Are you kidding me? Shoot to Thrill. If you're out running in the 110-degree Dallas heat like I am, and Shoot to Thrill comes on, it gets you through that last mile and a half. It just, it's a little, AC/DC is mostly attitudes. Yeah, put the thing you're smoking out of down, Zombie. Just put it down. Julian Z says, ever see Billy Gibbons' non-ZZ band with 3 drummers? I have seen that because I live in Texas. Stacey Allen says, another great pump you up song, Radar Love. Kinda. Radar Love's got some dead parts in it, but it is a good one. Diana Gino, Radar Love is a great driving song. Sounds a bit like Nutbush at first. Lucas Malago, never was an appreciator of Golden Earring. May I interject an interesting documentary I came across? Kansas, Miracles Out of Nowhere. I was never a big fan, but I am after this documentary. I don't know that that's going to make me a fan of Kansas, but I like a good documentary. Wild Bill says, Datsun 280Z at 2:30 in the morning, empty interstate and only 2 people on it playing Radar Love. I could outrun the Millennium Falcon. Bon Scott on the bagpipes, long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. Mumbles the Fireman says, hello, sir. Scrambled or omeletted. Anyway, what do we got? 10 minutes left here. I know nothing of what's going on in the Dabbleverse other than apparently John and Kate Meany are back together. I saw a clip. I watched it live briefly a little bit. Crazy Train. Oh, you're one of those, Stacy. You're one of those that likes all that Black Sabbath and Ozzy Osbourne and hey, Stacey, you know what Stacey Allen would like? Stacey Allen would like Sonic Asylum Radio, and she would especially like Metal Maiden Vicky's Metal Euphoria on Saturday afternoons. That, Stacey Allen, you need to look into that. Go to their Facebook page and go to their regular page. Yeah, Sonic Asylum Radio is all about the metal. All about the metal. Tell them Tom sent you. Tell them Tom sent you. I Don't Need No Doctor by Humble Pie will get you rocking. Says that's how I sound. Trevor Garner says Brett is okay, but he thinks he knows about radio. He always talks about Lycus. Well, that's what we're going to talk about you next with, Mr. Garner, is you're being sued by Tom Lycus. Goat said, Tom, one of the top 5 songs with the flute. Well, they're all Jethro Tull songs, so pick the ones you like, you know. Bungle in the Jungle. Stacy likes all music, except U2. Trevor Garner says, Brett has found a newfound daughter. How's that happen? Wild Bill says, Ozzy, got some good stories there, too. Julian says, it's the only asylum that can hold me. Terry Nee says, John and Kate were squirm-worthy. Yeah, they were. Thick as a brick. Stacy likes all genres. I wonder, I could try and open up my music file here, because I have an actual workout thing, like a playlist. All right, I'm closing. The phone lines are closed now. We close the phone lines. By the way, like, share, subscribe. If you would like to, go to thetomgullyshow.com. Lots of podcasts there. Go to thetomgullyshow.com. And you can also go to the merch store or go directly there at cafepress.com/thetomgullyshow. If you want to give us a little something for the effort, you know, a little something, that would be paypal.me/TomGullyShow. And then there's Patreon. They're all in the crawl. I'll just go ahead and try and open this, and then I'll tell you my workout, crank me up, lifting weights, running, all that stuff. You may find other shows that are Dabbleverse related that where perhaps one of the people on the show keeps claiming they're going to go work out and they're going to join a gym and others. I actually do that. Bjork plays flute on some songs, but I don't know which ones. Didn't Man Down Under from Men at Work have a flute? Might have. If the System by Exploited will wake you up, say goodnight, Gracie. Goodnight, Gracie. Trevor says, talk tomorrow, Tom. Just sold a bunch of baseball cards, shipping to Ohio. You told us about that yesterday. And we'll talk if we have time after Wild Bill's U2 story. Terry Nee says, little bassy rollers get your foot tapping. Stacy says, doesn't Lizzo play the flute? Who cares? Let's see. Oh, here, this one says workout. Okay, Thunderstruck, AC/DC, Goody Two Shoes by Adam Ant. There's several here by the B-52s, Private Idaho, Rome, Good Stuff, Flying by a band called Blue Rodeo, which most of you won't know of. A band called The Call that I love. The Walls Came Down and Everywhere I Go. Superfly by Curtis Mayfield, of course. Hidden Charms by Elvis Costello. Playboy to a Man by Elvis Costello. Pump It Up by Elvis Costello. Let's see. Child of the Wild Blue Yonder by John Hyatt. A couple Marshall Crenshaw songs. Out of the Frying Pan and Into the Fire by Meatloaf. Ooh, that is a killer pump you up song. Thieves in the Temple by Prince. Head by Prince. Kiss by Prince. Cream by Prince. Baby I'm a Star by Prince. Sweet Sweet G's by the Reach Arounds, which longtime listeners of this show have heard me play on this program. I could play it right now if I wanted to. Spend a Night in the Box by Reverend Horton Heat. Lone Star State of Mind by Robbie White. Get Yo Booty by Sir Silky, a friend of mine. And Livin' Right by Glenn Frey. Here's Sweet Sweet G's by the Reach Arounds. Okay. And then Sir Silky, I think I can play these because I know these people and I don't think these are licensed.
Microphone, give me some love, baby. I don't care if your hearing's impaired. Get your body on the dance floor. You bring the shoes and I'll bring my silky groove. Get your body on the dance floor. Ain't no need to be scared. It don't matter who cares. Get your body on the dance floor.
I kind of feel like I should play Gomerville because so many people have requested Gomerville. What's the other one? Well, I got the, here we go, friend song. This used to be the opening. This used to be the opening song for the show.
What happened to you long ago? Dogs of a feather may hang together, but rabid dogs tend to stray. I empathize with your crossed wires. I may even share your twisted desires, but never go out of my way to see you fall.
Anyway, I'm just going to get to the hook on this one because lots of people have asked me over the last few weeks to play this. Again, I used to play this in the opening of the show too.
Well, I live, work 2 jobs, try to pay my bills, Lord. Cut my yard with that. So I'm making a request, Lord, if you think you might get me out of Gomerville, 'cause I can't take another day. Yeah, if it takes a pound of flesh, a pint of blood, a family jewel, that's the price I'll have to pay.
Okay. By the way, the Hitman Blues Band, if you've never heard them, I can't play any of their stuff here. It is licensed, although Russell the Hitman himself, Alexander, would love for me to be playing this stuff. Check out the Hitman Blues Band. Good friends of the show. I can, strangely enough, put them all over my podcasts, as well as other music. So if you want to hear live music that I've gone to concerts and recorded and engineered, those are on the podcast. But Lyndon said locomotive breath. Jokerfish, Wicked Lester, Pre-Kiss had a few. Okay. Jethro Tull, Ian Anderson, whatever. I have an Ian Anderson album over here. It's not Jethro Tull. It's called, I'm going to look it up here in a second. You need to add The Wolf by Whiskey Myers. Well, it's interesting, Stacy, because one of my very best friends in the world is known as The Wolf and frequently is in this chat room. I go to the gym often, says Terry Nee. The massage chairs are fabulous. Well, Meatloaf, Paradise by the Dashboard Light. Reverend Horton Heat, awesome. Stacy, I happen to know the Reverend Horton Heat. Toby McGraw, he's a Texas boy. He started out down there in Deep Ellum. Toby McGraw says, dog walking counts as a workout, I hope. Ever since getting into the Dabbleverse, I'm going to walk forever and keep listening, so my dog's been pretty happy. Why is Tom moving like that? Is he having a seizure? That's how people from the late 70s punk movement dance, especially ones that are recovering from sciatica. Reverend is great live. Oh, he's the most awesome live. Anything Ramones. Saw the Ramones at the Vogue in Indianapolis several times. Julian Caesar, heard the Ramones on the Supermarket music last week. It's new age. I remember if you liked the Ramones, you were pretty much Satan. And now I hear, hey, let's go on TV commercials all over the place. And it just makes me go, man, you get kicked out of your parents' house for listening to that back when I was in high school. I Want to Be Sedated, Beat on the Brat with a baseball bat, sure. Diana Jean O'Brien says, takes me back to them days. Yes, Diana, you remember when I used to play that stuff at the start of the show. I may again, if I make another video to open the show with. I have a confession to make. That video that opens the show, I made that just to see if it would work. And I haven't changed it since. I heard them in dentist office, the Ramones. When the Ramones are supermarket easy listening background music, the world is changing, yes. Of Wolf and Man by Metallica. I can't get into Metallica. The band Kansas always numerous hooks in their songs, says Lyndon. The Kansas was just a little too, there's just a lot of burnout music I couldn't listen to back in the day. I saw the Ramones at the Metroplex. Diana Brad says, of the old shows, hey, Tom, that's right. Rock and Roll High School was my favorite movie growing up. Stacey Allen, I have the Blu-ray of Rock and Roll High School here, and it's got so many amazing extras in it, it's not even funny. Not even funny. In Dabbleverse news, Kevin Brennan and Patrick Melton are fighting over Kate Meany. Stut Joe is sure to rise to the occasion. Oh, wait. You want it Walter Winchell style, 30s announcer style. And Dabbleverse knows Kevin Brennan. Wait. Oh, Mr. and Mrs. North America and all the ships at sea. Dabbleverse knows Kevin Brennan and Patrick Melton are fighting over Kate Meany. Stut Joe is sure to rise to the occasion. And scene. I saw Stuttering John. I saw the Rico show where Stuttering John was trying to explain to Kate Meany, this is a true fact. It's been proven. Men are hunters and women are gatherers. So, yeah, he was talking about some 900 square foot place with 2 bedrooms, and I would never sneak into your room. 900 square feet with exploding hemorrhoids. What woman could resist? Julian Jesus says, Phil Spector did Rock and Roll High School, then he ended up in Rock and Roll Prison. Kevin Brennan plus Patrick Melton. 2 guys having a slap fight. Yeah. 2 guys that think they're cooler and tougher than they really are. The world we live in today wouldn't accommodate this, but man, as my dad might, not my dad, as one of my uncles might say, there's one, better one of my uncle's friends, there are 2 guys in need of an ass kicking. Diana Jean O'Brien is laughing. Wild Bill says, what did we learn today? Okay, I used to do a bit called What Did We Learn Today? But then I found out the Craig Ferguson show was doing that same bit, so I quit doing the bit. And I'm not sure we ever learn anything on this show, really. Tony McGroby says, exploding hemorrhoids sounds like a Guar song. It does a little bit. It sounds like a Proteus song. Jeez. The DDLD says, I can't really deal with the Dabbleverse anymore. It just feels a bit hacky now. All these guys trying to make heel turns on each other, and none are really that funny. Well, I will say that to me, the anchor show of the Dabbleverse, there's a case to be made that it's Who Are These Podcasts, but I'm going to stick with the Shuley Network. The BS show, a little less, but definitely the Rico show. And those guys don't heel turn. Really. There's a lot of other shtick going on, but, you know. Julian Caesar says, is this going to be on the test? If there was one thing I hated in college, more than anything, it was, is this going to be on the test? I was like, you're in college. And I had a teacher, it was actually a professor that both me and Letterman had, that would say, young lady, everything since you first walked into this classroom on the very first day is subject to being on the test. This is a university. You know, you're responsible for everything that I've said in this room. Our nursing home music will be fabulous. Who's the comedian? It's Dana Gould, or I can't remember who it is, but he's like, yeah, when we're in the nursing home, we used to listen to The Clash, and they were wicked awesome. We never stop learning, says Diana O'Brien. Life is learning. Diana, you got that right. Guar says, now we're talking. Now we're talking. R.J. Kelly, who is a jockey of note in the continent of Australia, says, g'day, Tom. Hope you're having a banger of a day. I am. But we've gone so far over time. 6 whole minutes. Here we go. I had a professor that said the same thing about being on the test. Everything from the time you step foot on the door can be on the test. Yeah. Speak for yourself. I haven't learned a thing since I figured out how to use Wikipedia. I am stunned at the number of Gen Z people who will call me a boomer like that, even though it kind of depends on what scale you use. If I'm even a boomer, I'm either the youngest boomer or the oldest Gen Xer, but it doesn't matter. They will ask me questions about all sorts of stuff, and I almost want to look them in the face and go, I thought you're the smartest internet generation of all time, and you can't Google that? There's also a lot of times where they'll say something, and I'll just go, no. What? No. That thing you're saying is not true. Well, what do you know about it? I was there. I was alive for it. Let's see here. Sven Douglas says, Guar made a poor song poor, Tom. Oh, I'm sorry. What a show. Yeah, it was a hell of a show today. We had a hell of a show. Toby McGrory said, well said. The Shuley Network is consistent. They keep me updated too, which is hard to do. You miss one day in the Dabbleverse, it feels like a week or two. Here's the thing. Here's why I don't watch Stuttering John anymore. It's a waste of time. Because the Shuley Network and some of the other shows, they're just going to pick the best parts out and show them later. So it's a waste of time to watch Stuttering John. Just watch the highlights. Let's see here. Lyndon says, thanks, Tom. Another home run tonight. Well, I'm glad you think so, because I have been stuck at 690 followers on YouTube for about the last month and a half. Wild Bill says, Tom, you are not a baby boomer. According to some of the Zabzoobs, I am. You're too young. You are the last of the boomers. See, there's different. Some places cut it off at 60, some 65. It doesn't matter. Always a good show, Gully. Thank you, Stacey Allen. And Stacey Allen, next time you come through the Dallas area, we're going to have to get together so you can insult me in person. Is this show over already? The gully clock runs fast. It really does. You know, I'm so glad we had this time together just to share a laugh and sing a song or two. Seems before you know it, from the time we started, comes the time we have to say goodbye. Good night, everybody. Some of you will know what I just did. Some of you will not. Frog watches so we don't have to. Exactly. Wild Bill says, I know in the 50s that I know you're a boomer, Wild Bill. I know you're a boomer. There's no question about that. Anyway, there's other shows. You have lives. I told you about, a horrible event, which is what I'm here for. Occasionally I tell you about other things, but mostly people like, destruction, mayhem. But with all that being said, Julian Zieser, sprechen Sie a little Deutsch, Guten Nacht, or Guten Nachten, whichever you prefer. I guess the only thing left to say is, hey, the king of dabblers is here. I got to put this guy's a celebrity. I'm going to say it again. There's a lot of talented people in the Dabbleverse, a lot. This guy might be the most talented. Might be the most. He makes those Shuli Network shows, If I had a dude like him working with me, I'd have maybe 30 people watching this show at a time. I'd have 710 followers on YouTube. Screw it. I got to get going. Hey, till next time. We'll see you next time.
I don't wanna talk about that.
know that's right.